Compassion Now Network for All, Urbana, Illinois, USA.
And Bethel House of Refuge, Muhammad, Illinois, also in the USA, presents this week's breaking news in wellness and in health for all people and for all professionals. Hi, I'm the Pete of Dr. Z and Pete. I am presently the CEO of Bethel House of Refuge in Muhammad, Illinois. Previous to that, I owned and operated a commercial construction business in this area as well. I was the executive director of a prison ministry in central Illinois. This is my co-host, Dr. Alex Rama Zechariah. Doc is a medical professor and the CEO of CNN4All. Recently, Doc was the medical director of Provena, now Presence United Medical Center in Danville, Illinois. He was in that position from 2008 to 2009. Prior to that, he was dean of one of the top 12 medical schools out of 300 plus medical schools in India, Christian Medical College in Ludhiana, India. Doc and his wife Prema, also a retired physician and a professor, spent 43 years at Christian Medical College in Ludhiana, first as medical students and then as faculty until they retired in 2000. They are now residing in Urbana, Illinois, where they've been since 2005. Doc, with your outstanding resume and your experience as a physician, I'm so glad that you're with us in breaking news and wellness and health. I need you to explain to the people what we're about here.
This is for your information only, and this is not medical advice, and you may talk to your physician about this and even ask him to watch. Pete, tell us about your wife and where do you live? And
oh, my goodness. My wife is Stephanie. She's a travel specialist for the University of Illinois. And we are currently residing in Farmer City, a quiet little pastoral town to the west of Champaign-Urbana. And I want to tell you, if you guys need to speak with us, if you need to communicate with us, please do it on the internet. You can email us at breakingnews@CNN4All.com. So let's jump right in to our program today. This is breaking news, and it's breaking, fast breaking. You may be familiar with some things, but this is hot off the presses. All right, go to bed. Guess what, Doc? Irregular bedtimes are linked to behavioral problems in children. Imagine that. Researchers from the University College in London in the UK have found that children with irregular bedtimes are more likely to have behavioral difficulties. What do you think?
well, that's no surprise. The study, which is published in the journal Pediatrics, October 14, 2013, found that irregular bedtimes could disrupt natural body rhythm called circadian rhythm and cause sleep deprivation, undermining the brain maturation and the ability to regulate certain behaviors. Analyzing data from more than 10,000 children in the UK, the team collected the bedtime data at 3, 5, 7 years.
My goodness. Well, the study found a clear and statistically significant link between bedtimes and behavior, as irregular bedtimes affected children's behavior by disrupting their circadian rhythms. That's the internal clock, right? Leading to sleep deprivation that affects a developing brain.
Behavioral such as hyperactivity, conduct problems with peers and emotional difficulties worsened. However, children who switched to a more regular bedtime had clear improvements in their behavior.
Maybe that'll help old men if they're grumpy. All right, we're moving on. Check this out, Doc. This will be interesting. Women in labor can get rid of their ice chips and drink a protein shake instead. I bet that appeals to them. You better believe it. They can enjoy a chocolate or a vanilla protein shake during labor rather than being relegated to the tedium of ice chips.
And the study from West Virginia University School of Medicine, Morgantown, was presented at the Anesthesiology 2013 annual meeting. this month, for October, mothers who drank a protein drink during childbirth reported higher satisfaction rates, although nausea and vomiting rates were the same as for mothers who were only given ice chips.
Oh my goodness. Well, the study suggests that more liberal guidelines regarding what a mother can eat and drink during labor should be considered, explained Dr. Vallejo. Doctors should feel comfortable, at least with this gentleman thinks that the doctor should feel comfortable with replacing ice chips and water with high protein shakes to increase patient satisfaction. I think it's a good idea. I know my wife would have enjoyed an approach. She wanted a greasy pork chop. Psychological interventions have deaths. Events in heart disease patients. That's right. Psychological interventions cut the death rate in half with cardiovascular events in their disease patients.
This is according to a study where a meta-analysis of 9 randomized controlled trials were done in Athens, Greece. The finding presented at the Acute Cardiac Care Congress 2013 at European Society of Cardiology, 12 to 14 October this month in Madrid, Spain. The nurses on the coronary care unit observed that patients were less likely to have another heart attack, die, or return to hospital when the nurses talked to them about their treatment, played music for them, or helped religious patients to say prayers or pray.
Imagine that. The patients can be helped by simply talking to the doctor or by introducing them to new things like music therapy, prayer, absolutely prayer, into their clinical practice. The researchers found that the addition of psychological interventions or even prayerful interventions reduce mortality in cardiovascular events by 55% after 2 years or more. That's astounding.
Yeah, this is clinically a statistical study. It's not just an opinion.
Right on, Doc. Healthier diets possible in low-income rural communities in the United States. Children don't eat enough fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. Instead, their diets typically include excessive amounts of sugar, solid fats, hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, increasing the risk of obesity and diabetes.
The study called CHANGE, it's an acronym, Creating Healthy, Active, and Nutrition Growing Up Environments. A 2-year randomized controlled study was published in the Journal of the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, October 2013. A team of investigators implemented a 2-year intervention study in low-income rural areas where disproportionately higher risk of overweight and obesity habits among children persist, leading to increased risk of diabetes and heart disease in adulthood.
The outcomes of the CHANGE study provides evidence that a multi-component intervention targeting low-income children living in rural communities in America can improve their diet quality. That's outstanding. Everybody needs that improvement. More, what, fruits, veggies, and
whole grains.
Whole grains. All right, we're going from rural communities to overweight. Obese children face high risks of hypertension. Go figure. High body weight in children and in adolescents strongly associated with the likelihood of hypertension, Doc.
Hypertension in kids.
That's high blood pressure, right?
According to a Kaiser Permanente Southern California study published in the Journal of Clinical Hypertension, October 2013, researchers found that young people who are overweight are twice as likely as their normal weight peers to have hypertension. Moderately obese youths have 4 times higher risk, and extremely obese children and adolescents are 10 times more likely to have hypertension.
Yeah, parents got to understand that obesity is epidemic in their kids. Researchers examined the electronic health records of 250,000 kids aged 6 to 17 who were enrolled in the Kaiser Permanente study in Southern California between January 1st, 2007, December 31st, 2009. So it wasn't just some small sampling, right?
Yes.
All right, check this out, Doc. I see people doing it all the time. The perils of texting while driving in the U.S. Research reveals that 4 out of 5 college student drivers have used their cell phones to send or receive text messages while driving, despite the majority recognizing that the activity represents a great risk.
And it's getting worse.
I know it.
The study from McGovern School of Business at King's College in Pennsylvania was published in the International Journal of Sustainable Strategic Management, October 2013. Earlier studies have suggested that texting while driving is on a par with driving while intoxicated, while alcohol as a significant risk factor for highway accidents. Indeed, some research suggested that texting shows driver reaction times more than being drunk.
Well, there's no doubt about it. I've seen them weaving like they're drunk on the road. Analysis indicates that texting impulsiveness is positively associated with people who frequently text and those who text while driving. There seems to be a mentality that this is going to be a problem using this device for everybody but me. That's an incorrect assessment. You put everybody at risk that's on the road when you're... Because it only takes a moment.
That's right.
And then you've
For
got
an
a problem.
accident.
That's right.
Going at high speed.
Okay. Analysis of herbal products shows contamination is common. Contamination, let's check it out. Most herbal products available to buy as alternative medicines in the U.S. may be contaminated. Researchers demonstrate the presence of contamination in the substitution of plant species in a selection of herbal products using DNA barcoding. I never heard of that. Well, according to the WHO, World Health Organization, the adulteration of herbal products is a threat to consumer safety.
And they are quite popular, but they need to realize the finding was published in BMC Medicine October 2013. In this current analysis, the researchers detected plant species that could pose serious health risks when consumed. The results revealed plant species with known toxicity, side effects, and negatively interact with other herbs, supplements, or medications were present in some products. So you have to be careful about using.
All right. Well, the authors concluded that the contamination and substitution dilute the effectiveness of an otherwise useful remedy, lowering the perceived value, shall we say, of all related herbal products. The herbal industry should embrace molecular diagnostic tools such as DNA barcoding for authenticating herbal products.
So we have brought these important information for you. And,
absolutely.
Yes. And so...
Oh, yeah. Well, where did all that come from? We want to thank Science Daily for the plethora of their information. Also, the City of Urbana's UPTV production coordinator, still the one, the only, Jason Liggett. Intern, Caleb Serpenis. He's quickly approaching the one, the only. And the UPTV station manager, Jake Schumacher. We want to thank also the Chorister Fellowship, Tiruvala Kerala, India, for the music score and for that hallelujah ending. We want to thank you for watching us. We'll be back soon.
We needed the trees for firewood, but we never stopped to realize one day the trees might be gone. Since Peace Corps came from the United States, we have learned how to make better use of our land. Volunteers showed us how to replant what we need and how to save what we have for the generations still to come.
I took my forestry degree and put it to work in the Peace Corps.
The United States Peace Corps, the toughest job you'll ever love.
Compassion Now Network for All, in short, CNN4All, Urbana, Illinois, USA.
And Bethel House of Refuge, Muhammad, Illinois, presents this week's breaking news in wellness and health for all people and all professionals. Hi, I'm the Pete of Dr. Z and Pete, This is my distinguished co-host, Dr. Alex Rama Zechariah, MD. Doc is also a medical professor and the CEO of CNN4All. And today, we have a more distinguished expert joining us.
More distinguished? Of course, I'm more distinguished than you.
Okay, we have a more distinguished expert joining us, Dr. Ross Yoha, and we would like to invite you to join us in our panel discussion. Well, Dr. Ross, here's what we're going to talk about. Go to bed. That's what we've been talking about. Bedtime's linked to behavioral problems in children. Researchers from University College in London in the UK have found out that children that have irregular bedtimes have a problem. What do you think about that?
Who didn't know that? Well, we always knew that.
Well, now they've certified it, Doc. So
you got it. So this is the kind of the first evidence-based study that showed that it's not scientific data.
Absolutely. And so what they're saying is that irregular bedtimes for kids can be somewhat of a jet lag problem, or a flying nowhere, but you still have jet lag.
You got it. That is called the circadian rhythm, your biological clock.
All right. Well, so what it says for parents, for children, early to bed and early to rise can keep one healthy and happy, not just wealthy and wise. So, all right, I got some more things for you. I'm going to check out your field of expertise. This is about labor. Are you got any experience in labor and delivery, Doc?
Well, not myself, but...
Well, that goes without saying. Maybe your wife, huh? Okay.
Are you sure? Right. Not yourself? Come on. Cut it off.
All right, listen. Most women, they're giving them ice chips and water in the delivery room. And this study is showing that you can can the ice chips and the water, and you can get either a vanilla or a strawberry or even a chocolate protein shake. Women, they can enjoy that chocolate or vanilla a whole lot more than ice cubes. What do you think?
You know, that's a very good study and a good observation. And but there's a problem that if they have to go to operation, they may aspirate. And that's a good point. Hey, yours not. Well, kinda. And you know, generally it should be a good idea. And this is the first study of its kind that shows that ice chip sucking can be replaced by some good drink.
Oh, that I'm sure that'll make them happy. That's not, they're not really happy campers in the labor and delivery. They are in delivery, but not in labor. So.
Except that's not the best time they'd like to enjoy an ice cream. They are in pain, they are nauseated, and they want to get it all over with.
For sure. All right. Well, I appreciate your lack of personal experience, but your broad medical experience. Okay, he is a more distinguished.
Oh, see, I told you. Oh.
Okay, check this out, Doc. Psychological interventions in cardiac patients seem to be helping them with their treatment if just the doctor talks to them, and he could consider playing music or
just
prayer.
Just a minute. It's not doctors. Doctors are not there. It is the nurses who is in the ICU. Doctors just come and look at the chart, and sometimes they don't even talk to the patient.
Well, they need to be talking.
Yeah, they need to be talking. But you know, these nurses are wonderful.
Well, they said, now check this out. Tell me what you think. They said that just talking with them, engaging them in conversation, playing music for them or getting them involved in something other than what they've been involved, and prayer helps to prevent another heart attack, death. These people really believe that it is very good. What do you think, Doc?
Well, this is again an evidence-based publication that shows prayer works.
That's right. Well, now we have the more distinguished perspective on this, so thank you for that.
All right. Playing music and prayer, and if possible, playing their favorite hymns.
Yeah, Well, and that's a place of encouragement. And that's when you're down flat, you have all these medical issues. For somebody needs to, the aloneness gives your mind time to run. And I think with conversation.
Hey, you talk to me,
yeah,
not this
sorry.
guy.
Yeah, okay. I think with conversation.
But I thought this is a panel discussion.
Well, yeah.
Oh, well, I'll do most of the talking, okay?
Okay.
All right, all right.
All right, so we're going to move on, Doc. We're going into obesity. In the U.S., children don't eat enough fruits and vegetables and whole grains. Instead, their diets consist typically of cheeseburgers, French fries, a lot of sugar, starches, increasing their risk of obesity and diabetes. What do you think?
Eat more, yes, eat more.
That's right.
More of veggies, whole grain, fruits, go nuts on nuts.
Oh,
Go
my
nuts
goodness.
on nuts.
Nuts on nuts.
Yeah, everyone can go nuts on nuts except you because you're already a nut. Oh, come on.
Oh, come on, Doc. We're going to have to lighten up a little bit.
Oh, all right, I'm sorry. I didn't really. You're more than a nut.
Oh.
Okay. Eat more, yes, eat more veggies, whole grain, fruit, go nuts on nuts. You must listen to the rest of the song. Can you listen to
Yes,
that?
I'm listening.
Okay. Eat less, yes, eat less. Less of starch, sugar, less of fried fruit, and starch, sugar. Say no to soda pop.
Say no to soda pop.
That's right. Exercise more. Walk, jog, run, bike. Treadmill, elliptical, till soaked in sweat.
Huh?
Exercise more. 5 times a week, half hour or more, till soaked in sweat.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay, you have something more?
Yes, I do. I have this little bit of information about peanut butter. Do you like peanut butter?
Oh, I love peanut butter.
Yeah, me too. Well, it says peanut butter can help diagnose Alzheimer's disease.
That's kind of interesting.
Yeah. It says the smell is one of the brain functions ignored by most except for perfume sellers, and it's a multi-billion-dollar business. The simple test about how you smell peanut butter, very intuitive, and it has the ability to help them.
You know, I'd like to speak about it because, you know, what they do is a simple test developed by a student in Florida. And you know what they do? You drink the open peanut jar to their nose, ask them to close one nostril, and they have a ruler measuring the distance between the left nostril and the peanut jar. And they found that the left brain and the right and the left nostril and right nostril, there is a difference.
Really?
Yeah, and also this is one of the earliest peanut smelling as the diagnosis for early diagnosis of Alzheimer's. That's very interesting. I know. I thought it was very interesting.
So they can help themselves in their diagnosis just telling the difference between how you smell out of one nostril or the other?
Oh, no, you need another person. You need a ruler to measure from this to this. Okay, and then you will see that there's a difference. That it will take, there's a disparity between one side and the other.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that is interesting. Anything that can help in that diagnostic function.
You have any more?
Yeah, I got a couple more. Leptin may explain the link between abdominal obesity and cardiovascular disease. High levels of antibose tissue, hormone leptin, in the blood reduces blood vessels' ability to dilate and affects blood clotting, all of which increase the risk of heart attack and stroke. That's what the study says. Numerous population studies have shown overweight people, especially those with abdominal, around the middle, obesity, have a higher risk of coronary artery disease and myocardial infarction. So you're a doctor. What do you think about all that?
That's very interesting because, leptin is an important compound that obese people have overweight and obese people have more of it. And that, kind of affects the blood vessel and it does not dilate. And so, leptin is, this particular study is very fascinating because they have shown the culprit that is causing that's causing that coronary constriction that leads to, not really coronary constriction, is the plaque. That these leptin measuring early would give us a clue.
Well, that's a good idea. So I mean, it's not enough, right, Doc, for you just to see that you're porky, huh?
That's
but
right.
the leptin test really gives the diagnostician the information he needs. Is that right?
It's still investigative and it's not yet available to public, that they are on the right track.
Okay. Hey, I got another question for you, and this is about, you may not like this, alternative medicines, herbal products, and the like. Some herbal products available as alternative medicine, you've heard of them, in the U.S. may be contaminated. Have you heard anything about that?
Yeah, I'm not really against alternative medicine. That I can really tell you that there is in China and in India and other places for thousands of years, they used only alternative medicine with good results. But you need to carefully make sure that the alternative medicine you get is not contaminated.
How can you do that?
Well, there is something called DAR testing, or the DNA DAR testing. What is that? Well, DNA, they measure the DNA, the DAR testing, and see whether there is any contaminant, just simple as that.
Even, it said, the study was not only in the USA, but in a lot of other areas, that some of the things that were put forth as alternative were contaminated, and if you can find a firm that uses DNA testing, you can get uncontaminated alternative medicines. What do you think about that?
Absolutely. Hey, you are brilliant. That's a brilliant thing. You had the solution. So my suggestion is that these people who make alternative medicine go into DNA DAR testing.
Okay. Well, we're about out of time, Doc. Are there any other things in the pan? We've been talking about obesity. We've been talking about texting. Do you ever text on the road when you're driving?
No, never. Oh, that's something, it is worse than drinking.
That's what it says,
yeah,
Doc.
Fully drunk and driving, and it's worse than fully drunk and driving.
Oh, my goodness. Well, I tell you what, from personal experience driving on the interstates, I see a lot of it. I saw some driving in here this morning. So anyway, thanks, Doc, for being with us. We appreciate your participation. We want to thank Science Daily. Also, thank the City of Urbana's UPTV, say that 10 times, production coordinator, Jason Liggett, the one, the only, our intern, Caleb Serpentis, almost the one, the only, and the UPTV station manager, Jake Schumacher. Also like to thank the Chorister Fellowship, Tiruvala Kerala, India, for the music score and the Hallelujah ending. Again, we want to thank our expert,
Thank you.
Dr. Ross Yoha, for joining us with our panel discussion, and we'll see you soon.